The Arctic environment is one of the coldest and harshest environments on Earth. Winters are long, with temperatures that can drop below -50 degrees Celsius in large parts of the Arctic. Average January temperatures range from about -40 degrees to 0 degrees Celsius. It is so cold some plants aren't able to grow. Summers are short, starting in mid-July and ending towards the end of August. The average July temperatures range about from -10 to 10 degrees Celsius, with some land areas occasionally exceeding 30 degrees in summer. There are also many animals in the Arctic. There are Arctic foxes, Arctic ground squirrels, Arctic hares, Arctic terns, Arctic wolves, bald eagles, belugas, blue whales, bowhead whales, caribou, coyotes, and etc. And there are many plants in the Arctic. There are flowering plants, dwarf shrubs, herbs, grasses, mosses, and lichens. The Inuit took advantage of their geography in a big way. They took what they had around them and used the things around them to survive and thrive. Humans need three things to survive: food, shelter, and clothing. There are two more things humans need to survive in the modern world: energy and transportation. The Inuit had the oceans, the Pacific, the Atlantic, and Arctic, around them to get food from. When it is cold, the big game animals like whales would come. They also hunted walrus, caribou, seal, polar bears, musk oxen, and birds and fish. The Inuit did not need any grocery stores because they had the oceans as their grocery stores, and the food was free if they can get it. Also, many people think that the lack of fruits and vegetables in their diet made the Inuit get scurvy. However, they eat raw meat, and the raw meat has enough vitamin C to prevent scurvy. In short summer season, they too gather various berries and roots. They also could get clothing from the animals around them. Their traditional clothing was made out of caribou skins. Boots were made from caribou or seal skin. Their traditional shelter was an igloo. They would never run out of the ice bricks they used to make igloos. Their igloos were warm inside because of the snow's insulating properties. They used to make oil lamps by burning seal fat and whale blubber, which were major fuel sources. The Inuit made transportation by making sleds that were pulled by huskies. The sleds were made from animal bones or walrus tusks. They also made kayaks that were used in the summer. They were made from driftwood or whale bone for the frame, were covered with stretched skins, and were made watertight with whale fat. The Arctic environment is a harsh environment to live in. The Inuit used the Arctic environment to their advantage and found what they needed to survive: food, shelter, and clothing, and in modern times they had energy and transportation.
Some problems about unpredictability in the Arctic are a glacier could start moving randomly with no warning, killing a handful of eider birds, which is the Inuits' main source of heat and food. Also, with global warming, a couple of Inuit people walking across the ice to go hunt could break the ice and die. A major issue with hydroelectric dams pumping fresh water into the ocean, making it freshwater, is it freezes over quicker, and at warmer temperatures it makes finding food harder for the eider ducks because they won't have open water to hunt in, which makes them die out, which makes the Inuit die out. Also, freshwater ice is easier to break, which makes the Arctic even more unpredictable. These are the big problems the Inuit face about unpredictability in the Arctic. Inuit art reflects their relationship with the environment. The artwork they create includes prints, paintings, drawings, carvings, tapestries, and pottery. Inuit artists use a dancing bear to represent the moment when the shaman and the bear are one. Their bodies then become merged together. Art is a way for the Inuit to symbolize their relationship with other beings. Artists' inspiration can come from the environment in person or individual experiences. Hunting was a very popular topic for the Inuit art. When the Inuit don't work, they go hunting for food. Hunting is a very important part of their culture, and it is also a topic that allows the Inuit to represent the importance of the environment to their culture. This art style should be preserved because their references are very unique in the ways They incorporate everything into the art. Transformation scenes are strong, meaningful topics in reference to the Inuit cosmology and shamanism. Cosmology meaning the origin and development of the universe. Shamanism meaning a range of traditional beliefs about methods to cure, diagnose, and sometimes cause suffering to certain beings by traversing the axis mundi and forming a special relationship with or gaining control over the spirit beings. Inuit art represents by the way they connect with the environment, and this type of art should be preserved.
The Inuit have moved from their traditional way of life to a more modern life with more advanced technology. This modern technology has helped the Inuit way of life in different ways. The snowmobile has helped them because they can go to places faster and than they would with a sled pulled by dogs. The gun has also helped them because they make it easier to hunt certain animals like geese. Heating technology helps them warm up faster, and if they want, the Inuit can cook meat on a stove. Also, modern technology has hurt the Inuit way of life. The pollution speeds up global warming that makes the ice melt, endangering the Inuit. For their snowmobiles, they have to buy oil and gas instead of having a sled pulled by dogs. They eat too much processed food instead of the traditional food, so they get diseases like obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart diseases, etc. Clothing. Traditional fur clothing handmade by women, sewn by sinew, and needles made of bone. The modern clothing was mainly clothes bought from a store, but Inuit still make traditional clothes but usually use modern materials such as duffel and cotton. And hunting and food. Traditional diet consisted mainly of meat from various animals like caribou, walrus, seal, and whale, and the modern, expensive food bought at the local co-op or northern store or shipped up from the south. Most Inuits still eat traditional foods, they are just caught differently. Adoption. Adoption was a vital part of traditional life, and families could either ask a pregnant woman for a child, or a pregnant woman would choose a family for a child. Modern children are still adopted, and it is recognized by most provinces and territories. And the language, the traditional, is Inuktitut, Inuvialuktun, Inuinatun, and Nunatsiavamiatunt. And the modern language is Inuktitut and English and French. The Inuit culture should survive, but unfortunately they will not in the next century. The Inuit is a very developed culture, but they have lived for thousands of years. They have wisdom. They survived all this time. They have not got scurvy because of their diet, raw meat. The raw meat has enough vitamin C that will let them not get scurvy. This wisdom is not worth destroying and getting rid of. They are people like us. Culture should never die. What if people do not want your culture to survive? The Inuit will not survive, though, in the next century. Global warming is taking over the Earth and the ice is melting. Scientists predict that the ice will melt completely by the year 2040. These reasons show why the Inuit should survive because of their wisdom, but they will not in the next century due to global warming.